How good is that?
Hey, what's going on? Hey, look, this router is busted.
Adam Curry, John C. Dvorak.
It's Thursday, June 25th, 2015. Time once again for your Gitmo Nation Media Assassination episode 733.
This is No Agenda.
Celebrating 100% New Zealand wool products and broadcasting live from FEMA Region 6 here in the capital of the Drone Star State, Austin, Tejas. In the morning, everybody. I'm Adam Curry.
And from northern Silicon Valley, where it looks like we're going to have a scorcher, which is rare because it's summer. I'm John C. Dvorak.
It's Craig Button Buzzkill in the morning.
All right. How's the printer cleaning cycle?
Yeah, it's just cleaning away. I don't know what it's up to.
Will this hamper the show in any way?
Well, I don't have my clip list.
Ooh.
I mean, I could look at it on the email, but that's not the same.
So we had General Hayden. Now, Hayden ran the NSA, ran CIA, and he, of course, now has his own...
And now he's just running.
He's running, yeah. But he has his consultancies, and he has a little company, doesn't he? Isn't he with some company?
I thought he was working with Chertoff.
Oh, that would make sense. And he was at a Wall Street Journal conference and talking about cybersecurity and Snowden. And two little clips I pulled from that. One about, as you always say, our real beef with Russia is Snowden. Right?
Yes, that's my thesis.
Do you think he was actually acting for a foreign government?
Intelligence officers...
Huh? I thought you said something.
No.
Just answer questions like that using inductive reasoning.
I hope so.
We go to
not information.
Not
intelligence.
We go to data, and then we're supposed to draw generalized conclusions from data. And I got no inductive trail that tells me Snowden was helped. On the other hand, if I go deductive on you, which is this is what he did, how do I best explain it? I got my suspicions, but I'm not a deductive guy. I'm an inductive guy by profession, and therefore I have no evidence.
But he's
I just say this, and then maybe you can take it from there.
Right. But then we got this little ditty. Now, as we know, we had this big change. We went from the Patriot Act to the USA Freedom Act, mainly regarding Section 215. We still own Section 215.org, which we put up years ago, based upon what we were reading in the National Defense Authorization Act, Ethicaterra. And this is, the big change that was made as we deconstructed it is no longer is the government allowed to collect information and sift through it. Now the telephony companies keep the data, are mandated to keep it for 5 or 7 years. And then, it pretty much made it easier. They're all indemnified. They can pass off this. They can share this information with the government. And, so this was a big change. And the way it was presented on the outside, the way many, certainly in mass media, but also on, Tech Horny tech shows. Oh, well, it's all we've taken care of it. The USA Freedom Act took care of it. No longer can this be done. This must really piss this guy off. Well, maybe not.
Somebody would come up to me and say, look, Hayden, here's the thing. This Snowden thing is going to be a nightmare for you guys for about 2 years. And when you get all done with it, what you're going to be required to do is that little 215 program about American telephony metadata. And by the way, you can still have access to it, but you got to go to the court and get access to it from the companies rather than keep it yourself. I go, and this is it after 2 years? Cool.
What a dick.
Oh, he's a total dick.
And then the wheeze at the end is like,
cool.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, he's a war criminal.
What an a-hole.
So a couple of things came out I thought were kind of related to this. One was a new Snowden, I guess a thing that was sitting at the bottom of the drawer in Glenn's or somebody's desk or the New York Times, which is the new Snowden revelation that came along to needle somebody.
British documents from Edward Snowden reveal how U.S. officials ordered a drone strike in Yemen to kill a doctor they believed was working with al-Qaeda in 2012. The documents, reported by the New York Times and Guardian, show how a joint U.S., British, and Australian program called Overhead supported the strike. Officials believe the doctor was surgically implanting explosives in operatives. The news has raised questions about the extent of British involvement in the U.S. drone program.
No.
They inserted explosives into operatives?
Now, there's a couple of things here that are interesting. The story should have come out like months ago before the movie Kingsman, because that's an element in that movie.
Ah, okay. Which I have not seen, but I hear is a real no agenda type movie.
It's a total no agenda thing.
Nice.
I saw another movie recently that is another no agenda movie, even though it's a little more high school type movie, which is Josie and the Pussycats, which has also got a no agenda theme. And I recommend that too.
Wait, I have to revisit now. Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Well, Josie and the Pussycats is all over this. But the way I see this was just to bust the chops of the UK and the Australians, because this Operation Overhead was, apparently they're involved. It's not just Obama signing off on these drone strikes. You got the UK. We got our guys we want to kill, too. We got the Common Core report for this show.
Oh, we need I wasn't ready for that. We need a Common Core jingle then, right?
Do we?
Well, we have a
yeah, we do have a Common Core jingle.
Yeah, let me
Common Core, whatever it's called.
No, it doesn't go anything like that.
Yes, Common Core. Everybody likes the Common Core.
Where 2 plus 3 is approximately 4 in the Common Core.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to go right into it?
Jazzy.
Pardon the interruption. At this time...
Oh, is this the 9-year-old kid?
No. This is a woman who is hired as the Common Core coordinator in this school. And when they do the testing, she goes on the PA system, so it sounds like you're in communist China.
Or in jail.
Or in jail, and she announces this, and then she follows up, and she talks a little bit like a up-talker.
Oh,
and
nice.
they discuss this with her. And the little girl made these comments, and people said, she's a phony, and blah. And she predicted that there would be computer glitches, and this clip confirms it.
Pardon the interruption. At this time, all 7th grade testing groups should begin testing. Please.
It's test time. Testing coordinator Brittany Ogden spent the day making sure children could log in.
When you are the testing coordinator, you do a lot of moving around the building. So, for instance, today I've already taken 15,000 steps.
While it went fairly smoothly, the first day was stressful. There were lots of computer glitches.
Just being unfamiliar with how long it would take students to get into their testing locations, how long it would take us to read directions, and so everything kind of got pushed back. We had to alter our schedule, and I think just overall students and staff being nervous.
That's it? Glitches.
She took 15,000 steps. She's one of those dimwits that thinks that this is an important fact when she's being interviewed. 15,000 because she has a pedometer on her feet.
No, this is native advertising for the Apple Watch, clearly.
No, because after they did this, it may have been native advertising for something, because when she said 15,000 steps, the camera took a shot of her feet. I was kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh, that's genius.
Where 2 plus 3 is approximately 4 in the Common Core.
Woo! Yeah. It was an interesting court case that played out in the EU zone. And this was about liability of publishers. And this fits very much into the certainly our net neutrality rules and legal lawful content, lawful network traffic, etc. And this has been going on for 8 or 9 years, this particular case. And the European Court finally came down with a decision. This is the Delphi AS versus Estonia. And they're not getting a lot of play because, hello, Estonia, no one really cares. But what happened is there's I think the president of the corporation that operates the ferry boats in Estonia had done something wrong. I guess what the ferry boats do is they change their schedule when the river freezes, and they change it so that they keep a track open, so they run them more frequently. They run them in different routes, so the ferries can continue to run. But what they had done, inadvertently or not, is they had ruined an actual road that people were using over the ice. And so people got really, really upset because, I don't know, that's what you do in Estonia. You bitch about the ferry boat wrecking your ice road. And on this one website, people were posting in the comments, oh, this guy should die, he's horrible, some slanderous stuff. And the guy sued the operator, the owner, the corporation of the website. And the court has now, all the way to the European Court, has upheld the decision and the fine that the website is responsible for the comments. Even though they deleted the comment upon request, they are responsible. It is their liability. And this is now a European jurisprudence.
Wow.
And it's not good.
That's actually a big deal.
It is a very big deal. A very big deal. Now this can go into one more round. I don't know. Maybe they go to the International Criminal Court for this.
Throw them in jail.
Nothing surprises me in the EU.
Jail.
Nothing surprises me in the EU. But I think that's a really big deal. That that anonymous comments are the liability of the person maintaining the server and running the so-called service. Even if you remove them after a request by the person who felt slandered or whatever he felt.
I actually think there's some validity to the idea because you are a publisher.
Mm-hmm. And it is seen as publishing. It is,
and it should be seen as a newspaper. So if you run a blog, you should be considered a journalist. If you feel like you're one and you want to be one, you are one. Is the way I see it. Mm-hmm. I think that's valid. But if that's the case, then everything that goes on that blog is being published by you and you're responsible for it. So I don't see, I think it's a big deal that this happened, even though what it takes away is people are going to be second guessing comments, or they're going to have to, you could probably do a terms of service thing that would kind of negate it a little bit. I think that would be useful. I think you'd have a disclaimer at the beginning. It would be useful because it could be automated, or you could have here's the thing, this could have even been behind it. You could run all your comments through a third party, like Discuss, for example. Mm-hmm. Or any one of those, and let them take the heat.
Well, this is the direction it's going for sure. And, I don't think that we use Discuss on our show notes. I don't think that you can get away with it. I don't think you can say Discuss certainly they could be under the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. They can say, hold on a second, we're like a library. We don't know anything. This is not our problem. So when are you the publisher? When it just by the act of publishing? Just by the act.
That needs to be discussed further in the courts.
Then I have another question for you. This is another case.
All major media outlets receive most or all of their financial support from sponsors, underwriters, and advertisers. As such, their coverage and analysis of news and current events is tainted by the interests of the supporting organizations and corporations. The No Agenda Show is 100% user-supported. This value-for-value model allows your hosts, Adam and John, to provide true analysis and deconstruction of the media, government, and economy in ways that other forms of mass media cannot. Simply put, the No Agenda Show is, quite possibly, the only truly journalistic news outlet in existence today. Please visit noagendashow.com for the latest episode.
Facebook, if you are in a state that has bullying, cyberbullying, or computer harassment laws, and there are, I think, about 30 of them now. These all stem from kids committing suicide who get lawyers.
Not from taking drugs.
No, in fact, the lawyers the lawyers who crop up for these kids, usually LGBTQIAP, they take their own life, and it's all blamed on cyberbullying and not on the drugs that they're on. The antidepressants. And the lawyers that show up, as we've documented on this program, are often lawyers who also work for the big pharmaceutical corporations. But there is now, and this will fall right under net neutrality, this will fall right under what is lawful content and unlawful content. And this will be eventually at a federal level. This is what net neutrality is all going to bring us. And the states will, I think they'll all fall lockstep right in because they love it. Love regulating everything, which reminds me, I need to say again that the FCC regulates the amateur radio airwaves. I'm licensed. I took a test, mainly a technical test, but there are some other questions in there. And it is verboten, I say, on the ham amateur radios to do anything of a commercial nature, but also vulgarity.
Can't cuss.
Nope. Vulgarity or, what's the word? Lascivious language?
You can probably drool.
Lascivious concepts, vulgar language is forbidden. And people have been fined up to $20,000 for breaking
you can get
these
fined.
$20,000.
On the internet, thank you to net neutrality, because the internet is now under the auspices, or that's not quite finished, and it hasn't fully been approved. But they're headed toward controlling the internet in much the same way.
And here's an example of a couple of kids messing around. It's a teenage girl messing around. And she lives in Virginia, a cyberbully law state, messing around with some kids and getting in big trouble for it.
Think twice the next time you text or send an angry message or photo on social media.
That's all you need to know. Right there. That is your future of the internet.
I feel like it's ridiculous because we were all guilty in the same offense.
26-year-old Kristen Holmes was just arrested, accused of harassment by computer.
And I admit I was childish and argued as well. Everybody was arguing.
Kristen says she was mistaken for another woman, so she posted this photo with the caption, "I'll post a few actual pics of me so you know the difference when you, quote, come find me." Then words were exchanged that we can't say on TV.
She had a picture. She had a picture. Yeah, she had a picture of her. But TV is regulated by the FCC. She had a picture of her brandishing a handgun.
What happened to freedom of speech? And it was just a picture. It wasn't a threat.
And so the next time you go on Facebook, remember, Holmes admittedly posted ill-conceived things on Facebook and now faces a Class 1 misdemeanor that could lead to a year in jail and up to a $2,500 fine.
And there's no such thing as a petty crime. There's no such thing as a petty offense.
Kevin Carroll with the Fraternal Order of Police says, according to state code, using a computer to send vulgar or indecent language or to threaten illegal or immoral acts could get you slapped with the same charge. You're arresting someone for using bad words?
It's actually against the law to say it in public. Okay, curse and abuse.
Curse and abuse is illegal in the state of Virginia? This is crazy.
It's part of disorderly conduct statute.
The disorderly conduct statute. They're just going to, there's more to it.
If it's against the law to say it in the public, why wouldn't it be against the law to say it's someone through a computer?
I thought it was a funny picture, and then I realized later that it was a little bit intimidating, so I took it down.
But Holmes ended up in jail because someone shared the Facebook messages with police, who then took out warrants for her arrest. The real message here?
Be careful what you put on the internet, because you can go to jail for it. Facebook thugging is a crime.
Facebook thugging is a crime.
Facebook thugging? There's a show title.
Remember, kids.
I'm a rule follower, so if the rule is that we have to do it, then I'll do it.
That's right. Follow the rules.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a great, No,
it's not that good. It's not good enough. You're
like
lax.
it was just the Facebook thugging.
Yeah.
Girl goes to jail for just a photo. I mean, come on. This is headed in the wrong direction.
Mm-hmm. At least we're identifying it so everybody can get ready for it. Facebook thugging.
Oh, okay. Don't do that.
But you also can't threaten threaten with an immoral act.
What?
That's what the guy said. You cannot threaten someone.
Threaten with an immoral
act. Yeah. So like, hey, I'm gonna do you.
Well, that's going to be easy. Wow. Because every newbie female that comes on any one of these tech shows, they have all these guys. If you look at the chat room, they're just, I'd do her.
Send a picture.
Big talk. You send a picture. Send a photo.
I'm going to jail. I think I should get a tattoo. Facebook thugging. I'm a Facebook thug.
Thugging.
Yeah, I'm going to change my my profile picture to Facebook thug. Perfect. Mm-hmm.
Michael Wolff, I guess he's a media critic and he's a book writer, and he's done a lot of, he's kind of one of these high-end guys he wrote the biography of Rupert Murdoch and people.
Oh, yes, I know who he is. Yeah.
He's a famous guy. I got a kick out of this.
He's an elite hagiographer.
He's in a very elite.
Yeah.
But I got this kick, which is another thing you won't hear on the normal tech shows.
Tech Horny.
I got this kick out of this commentary he made about net neutrality. Play the Michael Wolff clip.
What do you think of the president and net neutrality?
Wait a minute, is this Charlie?
Yeah, it's on Charlie Rose.
Nice. Okay.
I think net neutrality is one of those other issues in which the smoke hasn't cleared. And I would say that when it clears, the digital guys will be surprised, because what they have done is, digital has always been an unregulated business. By creating the net neutrality laws, they suddenly become regulated, and regulation then becomes a game of who has the best lawyers. And I'm going to tell you,
and lobbyists,
and I'm going to tell you, the media companies have been doing this for an awfully long time.
Yeah. Well, the regulations are in effect officially, because we passed the 60 days past publishing in the Federal Register. Even though the lawsuits
our days
pending.
are numbered.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For this show?
Well, unless we get a license, but then we have to kowtow to certain government regulations. And it's going to really be a problem if you cuss. That's going to be regulated. I can assure you that's happening.
Oh, boy. We're in trouble.
Well, we're going to have to hire somebody to beep out the show. Bleep, bleep.
We can't do it live anymore. We'll
bleep.
Have to, we can't do it live.
Bleep.
Well, luckily you are an actual journalist, accredited as such. So at least you can. Maybe I can operate it. You can deputize me as a deputy podcaster.
You're now deputized as the journalist official. Well, I've got an odd. Here's a news item that we just played just on a train's good, plane's bad.
Oh, do we? We'll do the
fastest train in the world clip.
All aboard, train's good, plane's bad.
Fastest train in the world.
The fastest steam locomotive in the world. While that claim can be disputed and debated, no one can deny that Pennsylvania Railroad 442-7002 gained worldwide fame for her romp on June 12, 1905, taking Train 29, the Pennsylvania Special, to a reputed speed record of 127.1 miles per hour.
Huh. They don't even do that these days, do they?
They don't get to 120 anymore. That was 1905.
How did that? What happened? What went wrong?
Well, we lost our way.
Now, however, I would like to point out, and I've had many discussions about this, particularly in light of the glitch day.
I have the clip. Before you talk about the glitch day, play the clip.
I have
because
a clip
I got two people saying glitch within 15 seconds of each other.
I got glitch too. We'll do.
Well, this is a better glitch.
When it doesn't work, right? It has been a rough day, but things are finally back to normal at the New York Stock Exchange, the Wall Street Journal, and United Airlines. All three were brought to a halt by computer glitches.
3 glitches made for a difficult Wednesday in the air, on the markets, and on the web. Trading on the.
This is so not acceptable in professional journalism.
You didn't get the double glitch, did you?
Well, I have a glitch with Comey.
Well, we can go. We're going to do a whole section on Comey.
All right. Well, here I'll rewind a little, because that was a good glitch to glitch handover.
All three were brought to a halt by computer glitches.
3 glitches made for a difficult Wednesday in the air, on the markets, and on the web.
Wait a minute. Stop again. There was one word exchanged between the 2 glitches. I think this is a record.
This is only one word between 2 glitches.
When it doesn't work, right? It has been a rough day, but things are finally back to normal at the New York Stock Exchange, the Wall Street Journal, and United Airlines. All three were brought to a halt by computer glitches.
3 glitches made for
There's nothing in between. It's 3 glitches. The word 3.
3, that's a word.
Difficult Wednesday in the air, on the markets, and on the web. Trading on the New York Stock Exchange came to a halt for hours because of what the company calls an internal technical issue.
I got 99 glitches.
The exchange took to Twitter to reassure traders it was not the result of a cyber breach. Many traders took it all in stride.
If we got spooked or panicked by something like this, then we're in the wrong business. I mean, we deal with things that are of far greater risk and importance, I think, than something like this.
About the same time, the Wall Street Journal's homepage went down.
Panic!
Readers found a message saying WSJ.com is having technical difficulties and the full site will return shortly. About 45 minutes later, the site was back up.
I call hereby. I call a call to action for all web admins. Make your 404 not found page just a big word glitch. It's a glitch. We want a 404 glitch page. So people like, it's just a glitch. And put a goatsy on there, will you?
Earlier in the day, United Airlines grounded hundreds of flights for more than an hour. The problem, a busted router would not let the airline's computers talk to one another. The problem was worked out and relieved passengers were eventually back on their way.
Now, before we continue.
A busted router.
Yeah. But so.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, look, this router is busted.
Hey, man, what's wrong with the router?
Busted
is good. So this type of reporting, because you're right, John, the robots will definitely take, they're already writing a lot of financial news. They will take over the journalist's job when this is the level of reporting that they grasp onto. Just, it's a glitch. Everything's a glitch. No, it's not a glitch. There is a bug. Well, in fact, I can tell you exactly what happened with United Airlines because one of our producers.
The router was busted.
A dude named Ben here. I work with the woman responsible for installing the server in New Orleans that brought our network down yesterday. It wasn't a glitch or a 6-week cycle cyber attack, just crappy hardware and software that effectively DDoSed ourselves, jamming up the bandwidth till we found out the problem was, quote, in the house and pulled the plug. The lady that the lady that I work for said it was the worst day of her career. And then he ends with
sound like a busted router.
No, and he says, "Guess that's what we get for running our airline on Microsoft." No, that's a good point. No, they DDoSed themselves, so it was a instead of busted router, they should have said our router was full.
It was full. It's full.
I would just like someone to be on television. And United Airlines recognized the problem was their router was full. Wouldn't that be funny?
Yeah, well, this is a busted router. I thought was funny.
Busted router. This is okay. So, and I have to bring this to a point about what people's expectations are about software. Now, your iPhone, it's full of glitches. It has glitches. Every piece of software has glitches. Some may never surface. Some may pop up by just random. We had a glitch the other day. I couldn't get the Freedom controller to work, and it was because there in the open source software that creates a short URL link, there's a list of short URLs that it won't create, like ass, stuff like that. And lo and behold, by some act of random numbers, there was a short URL created with ass in it. And so the whole system broke. And this is after 6 years of using this stuff. So things do happen. And all software has bugs and and if you really think that you're going to get a fail-safe, free, great ride on your autonomous vehicle, think again. There's going to be glitches. Some people are going to die. You are going to die. None of this is really good. But people have this fantasy, like, hey, I can see where I am on my iPhone. Well, why won't this stuff work? So this is what you then get.
Now to the computer glitches, the major ones that brought both the New York Stock Exchange and United Airlines to a halt. The unrelated problems have now been fixed, but the fallout is just beginning. We have it all covered, including the security concerns being raised, beginning with NBC's Gabe Gutierrez. He is at the New York Stock Exchange.
Now, this was also interesting, where, to me, seemingly important people who I was around, intelligent people, they said, wait a minute, this can't be a coincidence. With the New York Stock Exchange, United Airlines, and the Wall Street Journal, this must be, you don't think China has thousands of guys trying to cyber attack us right now? I'm like, are you insane? And like, no, and I'm saying, and you call me a conspiracy theorist, and you're now putting these three things together because they lumped them into one report.
And that's actually an interesting observation.
Whoa, yeah.
Hey, Gabe, good morning.
This morning, the New York Stock Exchange is trying to bounce back after Wall Street.
Why am I shouting?
Why not? It's a glitch.
Hit a wall.
Welcome back. While we were in commercial break, traders here at the NYSE just said, whoa.
Without warning, at 11:32 Wednesday, all trading was shut down.
Now, that is not true. The trading kept on going through other systems. They just couldn't get a real-time index. That's pretty much the only problem that they were just able to circumvent everything, but that's not in the report.
Floor has been frozen.
The floor was stunned. Frustrated traders with no access to stock price.
And they got photos of guys with their heads in their hands. Oh, what am I gonna do? And all that's missing is a guy jumping out the window.
The photographic equivalent of B-roll.
Had to manually cancel about 700,000 orders already in the system. At 12:09, the exchange tweeted, "We're experiencing a technical issue."
This was an inconvenience.
This is a guy from the stock exchange, and he's right. It's an inconvenience, and it's okay.
The New York Stock Exchange, but because of quick thinking, as far as I know, no clients were hurt and nobody suffered a big loss.
It came just hours after the computer system for United Airlines also froze, fueling.
It froze, John. You know why?
Why?
Oh, the router was busted.
Oh, yes.
You already know this.
Fears of cyber attacks.
It appears, from what we know at this stage, that the malfunctions at United and
this is Johnson.
The stock exchange were not the result of any nefarious actor.
So while terrorism is ruled out, the cause is still unclear. An overnight software update may have played a role.
That's exactly what happened, and they admitted it 2 days later in the Financial Times. It was a software upgrade that failed. And when you have these flash trading guys, with hundreds of a second trying to get stuff down, it's software, and you're going to break stuff. The no agenda Wi-Fi went away at Schiphol Airport. You're going to love this story.
Right.
And so I got in touch with our anonymous Wi-Fi night, and I said, dude, what's going on? I said, I no longer work in that particular area, consultancy, whatever. I don't want to divulge too much about his position. He said, but they did a complete upgrade of all of the Wi-Fi systems, and they saw these, this whole network called No Agenda, and it was like anything that was kind of left over, they got rid of. And he says, I don't work there, so I'll have to see what I can do. Then I land at Schiphol when I arrived in Rotterdam 10 days ago, and I see it's up, and I'm like, no, actually, I'm sorry, it was when I was flying to France. I say, hey, the network is up. He said, yeah, the upgrade was so catastrophic, they rolled everything back to the way it was, including our network. So that just goes to show this stuff breaks.
It's hilarious.
It's crap. Well, we have our network back. That's what's nice.
Shutdowns
for now. Apparently, they're going to try to upgrade.
Yeah.
These are rare, but
they take more than one shot at these upgrades.
Yeah, but it's going to be a while for sure. They're not going to just deploy, easily now, because apparently it really was a mess.
Actor.
So while terrorism is ruled out, the cause is still unclear. An overnight software update may have played a role. Shutdowns like this are rare, but not unheard of. In 2013, another technical glitch paralyzed the NASDAQ for 3 hours.
The Dow closed down 261 points, not just because of this glitch, but also because of financial problems in Greece and China. The night before, the hacker group Anonymous had sent out a cryptic tweet seeming to suggest that there would be problems here. But again, Homeland Security officials say there is no credible evidence to suggest that this was a cyber attack. Hoda?
Wow, but that tweet is interesting. All right, Gabe Gutierrez. Gabe, thanks so much.
Wow, yeah, that tweet is interesting.
Oh, brother.
It's unconscionable what these people are doing. This is not, you journalists, you are going to be taken over by robots first because you just accept glitch. It's so stupid.
A robot can take and write a press release.
They're already doing it. They're already doing it. Financial press releases a lot of them done by robots. Sports scores. Those stories also written by robots.
There's not a lot needed. Yeah, you just get the wire and you're ready to go. Good to go.
Yeah, but I'm just warning. I'm just trying to ring the bell and say, the people should also. This is okay. These are silly network shows, NBC, Today Show. But I'm sure the PBS is not doing any better. They're just glitch.
They haven't used the word. You know who doesn't use the word glitch? And I've been tracking this a little bit.
Okay.
Amy Goodman's show.
Really?
Yeah. Somebody goes out of their way not to use the word glitch. Well, they call it a problem. They had a problem.
Okay. Well, that's good. But they just replace the word glitch with another one.
Yeah, problem.
Single word.
But the problem is a good word.
Yeah.
That has it has a generalized meaning that people the problem. It could have been a million things. Glitch is like a specific thing that doesn't mean anything at all.
Yeah.
Very strange. AT&T on some show.
Next tonight, the major cell phone carrier under fire, accused of misleading customers, slowing down internet speeds on purpose. Here's ABC's Jim Avila.
No.
She would like it.
Cute or annoying?
What's better, faster or slower?
Faster!
The feds say AT&T claims of a faster internet.
Faster is better.
Deceived its customers. And today, the government announced its intention to punish America's second largest cell phone company with its biggest fine ever, $100 million.
Is this because the net neutrality rules are now in effect?
No, they're just the standard. They're just flexing their muscles, showing you what's up ahead.
The beef, the FCC accuses AT&T severely slowed down the speed for its highest-paying customers, the ones opting for unlimited plans, and after they used a large amount of data, making it more difficult to stream movies or make video calls. AT&T told ABC News in a statement today it will vigorously dispute the charges, saying it has been fully transparent with its customers. The FCC called the company's warnings vague. There is a way to tell if you are getting the speed you're paying for. Download a speed app and test your phone. And you can save money by restricting which applications on your phone can use cell data and use Wi-Fi whenever possible. David?
Man.
Tip of the day.
This is no, it's not clip of the day. It's good.
No, tip of the day. It's a tip of the day.
Oh, tip of the day. I'm sorry.
Hardly clip of the day. Are you in?
No.
What are you insinuating?
I'm sorry.
It's not a clip of the day. Now, I do have another one if you want.
I need to comment on that for a moment.
Okay. What, AT&T are douchebags. We know that.
Yeah. But the idea that you can determine the speed you have with one of these apps, this is not how the internet works. It's just not how it works. When your speed will vary based upon multiple hops along the route. You can have in Austin now everyone's gigabit. AT&T has rolled out gigabit here. We have Google with gigabit. Time Warner's trying to get there. They're nowhere near it. But you're not going to get a gigabit of download speed all the time unless you're getting it directly from the AT&T server farm that you're connected to, which is exactly how it is supposed to work. That's what these peering arrangements, co-location arrangements are about. That's how the internet works.
Even your local home network, if you have a gigabit Ethernet.
Right. I don't.
If anyone's using the network, because you're never going to get that speed. No. It's just like it's just like the total. That's like the amount that can go through the pipe, not what you're going to get.
And it's not a speed. It's a volume. That's another thing that's misrepresented.
Different. All right, so we got that out of the way.
Yeah, there's one other. This is from Dvorak Space.
It's the weekly hooker report.
John C. Dvorak, filled with all kinds of economic indicators. And as we know, John, when the economy goes down the tubes, what happens?
The hookers get cheaper and better looking.
Correct, sir. In Tokyo, right now, the going price, according to the headline, oral sex now just $15 in Tokyo's red light district, thanks to bad economy.
Wow.
Nice. $15. That's best price.
Best price. That would be in China.
Well, we don't have any hooker reports from China yet.
Yet.
Yeah. There are a couple of new websites I found that that report on. I'll find the name for you. They report on government IT, government information technology, and there was this article. Just speaking of government for a moment, the Pentagon is going to move to they're hoping, it says, going to move to a single service provider for all of their IT needs.
What?
Yeah.
They should do it in-house. Are they nuts?
So the standardizing IT infrastructures will enable end-to-end network and security posture and improve operational coordination across departments and geographies, according to Greg Garcia, the Army's Information Technology Agency Executive Director. The consolidation is an effort to cut out redundancies in how the Pentagon delivers IT services across its vast bureaucracy. After a months-long study of the IT costs of the Pentagon Reservation and National Capital Region, a memo from Deputy Defense Secretary Robert Work made the single service provider, SSP, a policy official. And of course, the question is, who's going to be the single provider? And that seems by itself a huge security risk.
They have to do this in-house. The government should not be using outside people for doing government work like that.
I hear you.
Look at that with Snowden.
Yeah, I hear you.
Well, lots of trouble. There's trouble.
And part of there's something that what's that douchebag's name who's in on this Chertoff. They are implementing something called
making the
yes. So they're about to implement Einstein. I think Einstein 3, which is I know. It's Einstein. It's the Einstein program. Intrusion detection system that monitors the network gateways of government departments and agencies in the United States for unauthorized traffic. They've already implemented
that. Can't be bypassed.
Yeah. So the features.
There's no way to beat that. It's got the name Einstein.
Upon its creation, Einstein was an automated process for collecting, correlating, analyzing, and sharing computer security information across the federal.
You a false sense of security
across the federal civilian government. But Einstein does not protect the network. Oh, it just tracks it. So here's what it collects data, including
honks a horn.
Yeah, it's like, oh boy, hold on a second. Packet length, protocol, IP address. It's like router logs that they're selling. Nice. I swear to God, autonomous number system. So that's your in-network numbering system, ASN. ICOM type and code. So that's the type of packets. Packet length, protocol. Source and destination IP, source and destination. This is a Cisco router log file they're selling. Then we have Einstein 2.
They're selling a log file.
They are
calling it Einstein. Ooh, look at this. There's a bunch of log entries. That Einstein is smart.
I wonder if
you know all that stuff.
I wish it was an acronym they had for Einstein. That would have been even funnier. Anyway, Einstein 3 is now going. This is being discussed, and this will prevent attacks by, quote, shooting down an attack before it hits its target.
Oh, really?
These Pentagon guys, they have to use this. They can't think of these things in any other terms. You know, cyberspace is a matrix of stuff. It doesn't quite happen like a missile that you're not going to shoot down before it hits its target. Morons. The NSA is moving forward to begin a program known as Einstein 3, which will monitor, quote, government traffic on private sector sites. AT&T is being considered as the first private sector site.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. What was the name of that? Smelly wind? What was the...
Stink wind.
What was the name of that thing? Binny was a part of. Stellar wind. Stellar wind. The program plan, which was devised under the Bush administration, is controversial indeed, given the history of the NSA and warrantless wiretapping scandal. So this is what Chertoff is now pushing for very, very hard. And
more Keystone Cops.
Yeah, sure. And then we have DHS, who actually have a bill, I think, in the House for Eagle 2. These guys in there, if it's not Einstein, it's
Eagle 2 at work.
47 agencies face possible login credential exposure. Here we go. What is this about? Wait, no. Down here, Eagle 2. The government accountability. Okay, Eagle 2. So, Senate panel is waiting on Einstein. So it's in committee if we're going to implement Einstein 3. Then we have... This is funny. I love this. Oh, check this out. Here it is. Department of Homeland Security's Eagle 2 program. This is, it's an acronym. You want to give it a shot? Eagle?
Every account going long, EAG, every account going long everywhere.
Not even close.
2.
Eagle stands for Enterprise Acquisition Gateway for Leading Edge Solutions.
That's Eagles.
I know.
Is there an S on Eagle?
No.
Eagles.
No, I know.
That's Eagles.
I know, but they call it Eagle.
Huh.
It's a suite of strategically sourced information technology services and contracts to build small businesses.
Oh, brother.
To build small businesses.
How this works.
Tell me.
Dream up some bull crap and sell it to the government. This sounds good.
What do you think the budget is for Eagle 2?
$30 million.
That's what the Navy's paying Microsoft to maintain Windows XP. No. What is the budget which the Government Accountability Office...
$1 billion.
Yeah, no. $22 billion.
What? What kind of... How come we're not in on these scams?
Because we're stupid. We're podcasters.
Podcasting at work.
$22 billion.
That's a lifetime employment contract.
Yep. They see March as of March of 2015, Department of Homeland Security has already
it won't work.
Has already issued 74 Eagle 2 task orders, and that by itself, just these 74 Eagle 2 task orders amounts to $591 billion. Now, most of it went to small businesses, which is the point. This is why Chertoff is all jumping up and down. These guys are quote unquote small businesses. So this is what we should be doing. We should put a little small business together and get us some of this $22 billion.
Yeah, we need to do one little specialty thing that no one else can do. We got enough geniuses that listen to the show.
Maybe we could just be a jingle.
Put together a team, a tiger team.
We could just be a jingle production house for them.
They've not bought our first product.
No. Hey, I thought that was just. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, well, it just makes you sick. That's my tech news for the day. More frustration.
Well, I just wanted to mention a new product, which I like very much, called Surge. And this is for the dude's name, Ben, surge.sh. I really like what has happened here. You install it command line. It's a, what is it? I guess it's maybe it's just it's a JSON thing, right? So you have to have that installed, but that's pretty standard these days. And you go to a directory and you type in Surge, and it will automatically create a URL, a directory, a web server, the whole thing. Pushes the content in that directory, in that folder you have, and then propagates it to a CDN for free. Now, of course, they have a paid tier, but the way of the deployment of this, and you can set your own custom CNAME. It's fantastic. So I just wanted to mention that as a product, as an endorsement from a show that takes no money for endorsements.
What does it? What was the point of it?
Well, the point is very rapid deployment of a static website or anything you need. It's almost like an Amazon bucket in a way, except you're getting the CDN and you have a free tier, which is quite liberal. And it's command line. You just type Surge, and then everything in that directory will be synced right over to the CDN.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's a nice product. It's so simple. It works on all platforms, so it's nice. Then the ITA, was it the ITA? Well, the ICANN. This is the outfit that manages the domain names, address space, etc. The Whois database. So we've been following this for a long time about how this would become an international endeavor, and it would no longer be. Who's the douchebag who was running ICANN with living high on the horse from this nonprofit?
High on the horse.
Yeah.
Yes. Go on.
Yeah. So it looks like the ICANN, when it's transitioned to whatever this new entity will be, will no longer allow private Whois data.
What does that mean?
That means you can no longer register a domain name through a third party, which keeps your identity
no anonymizers.
secret. No anonymizers, yeah.
Well, that's a plus.
The Whois data will be completely exposed, and it has to be non-obfuscated for the true owner. For us, it's great, I think.
Yeah, I think it is.
Be more of a trail, yeah. And then I was ridiculed several years ago.
You've always been ridiculed.
That's what happens. Could you put that on my plaque when I'm dead? He was always ridiculed.
Okay,
thanks. Google downloaded or automatically updated all versions of Chrome with a listening piece of code, which they did outside of the open source release of Chromium, and it is enabled by default for audio capture. And they say, we needed this for OK Google. If you say
Google,
OK Google, yeah. And so this is now enabled by the microphone, enabled by default, audio capture allowed by default. I always said, you watch it, these guys are going to be listening. They're putting code in.
Why wouldn't they?
Well,
the way you see this lousy mac and cheese. I'm not buying this brand anymore. What do you think we should get, honey? I don't know.
No. It's if you have a dog barking in your house, then you get ads for dog food. That's about the level they've got. I don't think they have the voice processing down. Yeah, no. And then finally, I want to remind everybody to be prepared, be on the lookout, fill up your bathtubs, put some cash in the refrigerator, in the freezer. June 30th, the mini Y2K, known as the leap second of doom.
So this is going to be a bigger dud than the other one.
Would it be funny if it wasn't a dud, if something really screwed up?
It would be hilarious.
It would be great if Google screwed up and Gmail imploded. I think that would be nice for a change.
Squirrel mail, bet you stays up. Meanwhile, the most interesting thing that took place, which is the clip, this is the clip, U.S. spying on France, which I thought was very revealing about one thing.
The government of France expressed outrage today after new revelations of U.S. eavesdropping. Documents released by WikiLeaks showed the National Security Agency spied on the last 3 French presidents and other officials from 2006 to 2012. Prime Minister Manuel Valls, addressing the National Assembly, said France will not tolerate such actions.
These types of practices are a very serious violation of the spirit of trust we must have. The United States must admit not only the danger that such acts have on our freedoms, but also they must do everything to repair the damages it created in the relationship between allied countries and between the United States and France.
French President Francois Hollande called the spying unacceptable and said President Obama promised in a phone call to end it.
Cool. I thought this was interesting from the perspective that this leak came through WikiLeaks and not through the Snowden revelations, or in other words, it didn't show up on the New York Times or the Guardian, and which tells me, where did this come from? Russia.
Of course.
The Russians have been dogging all this stuff the same way we do, and so the Russians came up with some documents, and they'd slipped them to the WikiLeaks folks, and they just ran with them. They didn't care where they came from. And this is more of this gamesmanship being played between. This is giving us the needle as best the Russians can, and they can play this silly game as well as we can.
Sure,
in fact, we're not even playing it very well.
Huh.
I had another. Now, there's one Hillary clip that I had that brought an interesting point, which I don't know why I hadn't thought of this. But play this. This is on Sean Hannity, which is harder to listen to begin with. But he had a guy on there, just wrote a book called The Queen, which is about Hillary. This guy hates her.
Got to read it. It's on the list.
Yeah, The Queen. And he makes an observation that I didn't think of, you didn't think of, or at least I don't know that you have. And it was an eye roller because, of course, I maintain, even though she collected $45 million in the last quarter, and she'll probably walk away with $1 billion, I still maintain that Elizabeth Warren will be the next president.
God forbid. That sounds like a lie to me. I think David Axelrod lied. Rombo Deadfish knew about it. Podesta knew about it. Lanny Davis apparently knew about the account. They all knew about it, right?
Well, Sean, I was the guy who asked Bill Daley on Meet the Press if he knew about the server. He said no. I was on the set when David Axelrod was asked by Meek in response to my comments about the server. He said no. I can believe they didn't know about the server because it's so reckless. It endangered the national security.
But they
to
knew
maintain
about
a
the
private
email
server.
account, and they denied knowing it.
They knew about the email.
Yeah.
But Axelrod was asked specifically about the server that morning. So I don't want to turn away from the fact that Hillary's server is the issue. Mike Morrell told me on my show, I'm sure he told you as well, Sean, the Chinese, the Russians, the Iranians, they all knew about Hillary's server. They all compromised it. They have all the emails that we're getting in drips and drabs from the State Department, and they even have the ones that she erased, her Nixon tapes emails.
I'm willing to raise some money and go to the Chinese and Vladimir Putin. I'd be willing to buy all the emails. I'm willing to raise a significant amount of money. What?
Yeah, Democrats have to worry about them being released in the middle of the campaign by Guccifer and by other people that had previously given them to Gawker and by Foreign Intelligence Agency, because they're out there.
The old blackmail.
Yeah.
Nice.
Exactly.
Huh.
And I don't know why we
didn't think of that. And they have the deleted emails. That's cool.
Because we know the Russians have already pulled a stunt by running through WikiLeaks that information about the NSA spying on the French. Well, of course, we know that the Russians did it. We don't have any proof. It's just so logical. And no one's talked about it, but we have. And the Russians are the ones that are getting, they're doing their spycraft. They're not slouches.
Yeah, they did this.
We know that had to be a Russian tap.
Oh, yeah.
That wasn't anything from anyone else. Who would do it? And so the Russians are sitting on these Hillary emails. They know what happened.
That's why he's smirking.
And they're just waiting.
Oh.
Of course, they'll, if Hillary decides to tell them in advance somehow that she's going to play ball, but she's not. She's going. You know what she's going to do? She's going to talk tough.
Unless one of the emails is a little tete-a-tete love back and forth between her and Uma Abedin.
That would be a nice one.
Hey, baby. Been thinking about you tonight. Emoji heart, emoji kiss lips, emoji eye hearts. emoji skiing, emoji surfing, emoji zucchini, emoji teardrops.
I like the emoji zucchini.
Well, you put
that fits right in.
No,
there.
If you do emoji teardrops and followed by emoji zucchini, it's kind of funny.
Okay, well,
you should try it. You should try it.
Okay,
it's a no agenda sexting tip.
The only good phone's a landline, and the phone should be made out of Bakelite.
All right, everybody, time for tech news. That's what we do here on Sundays in the best podcast in the universe. We got tech news, not the Tech Horny stuff, but stuff that people really care about. Dudes named Ben like it. It's tech news. Tech news. I'll start off with a little bit of tech news. The dude's named Ben. Not hearing much about this, but of course we had some missing emails from the IRS. And lo and behold, it turns out they've been deleted, John. Deleted.
After an order to preserve evidence, the Internal Revenue Service says it erased hundreds of backup tapes containing tens of thousands of Lois Lerner emails. Testifying before the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee, the Treasury Inspector General for Tax Administration's office says there are still up to 24,000 unrecovered Lerner emails. After promising to provide Congress all of Lerner's emails, IRS Commissioner John Koskinen said his agency lost or destroyed 2 years' worth of her electronic correspondence. Koskinen pledged his agency would attempt to recover those lost emails. However, the Inspector General says the IRS failed to search several sources for Lerner emails, like backup tapes, hard drives, and Lerner laptops, sources that he says ultimately produced previously undisclosed emails.
Whoops. Who the hell, what dude named Ben erases backup tapes? Oh.
Someone told to?
Yeah. This is not normal.
Can you use like one of these, a big giant magnet or something? Because I don't know if we're going to get this data off here. Those things called degausser.
Yeah, degausser. We call it degausser. Degausser?
That's what I always called it, degausser.
Degausser.
I think that's a different pronunciation. Yeah. We have to look it up. But anyway, I used to have one of those. They're great.
Yeah.
Giant magnet. You put the tape on top of it, push the button, turn the tape. This thing is dead empty.
Yeah.
There's no residual nothing.
And do you remember how you held that big block, and if you were erasing a cart, like an 8-track cartridge jingle cart, you have to look that up for people who don't know what we're talking about. Radio stations had an 8-track on an infinite loop, and you could put a jingle on that, and it would have a tone on one of the tracks, and it would stop and be queued up, and you hit the button, it would play immediately. Jingle cartridge, cart.
Yeah, those are the good ones.
Yeah.
Nowadays?
Yeah, it's all just on my iPad.
We're talking about tech news.
I just wanted to say that when you degauss, you had to keep pressing the button. You move it around, but then you had to slowly move the cartridge away from the magnet before you turned it off. Did you not do that?
I'm talking about. I used them for
reel to reel. Same thing. The same thing. You have to.
I never erased carts. I never used carts. I don't have anything to do with them.
All right.
So I didn't know that, but I can imagine because it made a pop or something, or you had.
Yeah. It would leave residual stuff on it, so you had to move it away slowly, so it really would. The field
is that absolutely true? Or you think somebody was just kidding, giving you bull crap? So they were, hey, watch this, pull it away slowly.
No, I'm pretty sure that it actually made a difference. I'm pretty sure it made a difference, John. It did.
And then you have to slap your ass after you pull the card away. Okay.
All right. You were going to say something?
I'm going to complain. Did you get that clip I sent you? I didn't know anything about this. Another subculture thing going on, which we do the best we can to keep up with. I didn't keep up with Americana.
Africana.
Mm-hmm. Is these called mod boxes or whatever.
Oh, the vape guys?
vape guys. The vaporizer guys are making their own vaporizers that are high
power batteries.
And so you see and these guys will show you how to do it. And some of these guys use them and they bitch about the batteries being counterfeit. And there's all these different guys out there. But these vape guys with these high powered vaporizers, mod boxes or box mods or whatever they call them, and they build them. They push the button and they take a breath, and what comes out of their lungs fills the room with vapor. It's like a huge, giant cloud, and I think that's the point of it.
Yes, there are competitions for who could make the biggest vape cloud. And we have a vape store here in Austin. I went in, and they have these. So it looks like a German World War II hand grenade. You know, they didn't have the little pineapples; they had the sticks.
Yeah, the sticks.
And it's it fits in your hand. It's a pretty big. The girth is pretty big girth, and the coil, you actually wrap the coil yourself because you're just making heat by short circuiting, and so there's not even and normally you buy an element for the what is it called for the cartridge,
the vaporizer
for the vaporizer, but yeah, the element that heats up, and you buy a new one every week or so when it's burned out. But here you wind the coil yourself, and there's some form of cotton in there that will retain the liquid. The guy did a demo. It was bigger than the cloud on the clip you sent me. It was just unbelievably
It seems to me you're supposed to be like, this is a way to smoke dope or a way to smoke cigarettes that's safer for the lungs. I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe it is. I don't know. But the cloud would contain most of the whatever you're trying to actually inhale. What's the point? I always thought that if you're going to smoke marijuana, for example, you'd hold it in your lungs, you hold your breath, and then what comes out should be nothing.
Well, John, it's the same reason people put glass pack mufflers in their cars, and something to do.
Makes a lot of noise.
They have nothing better to do.
Thank you for listening to this No Agenda compilation. Feel free to copy and share this CD with others. For the latest No Agenda CD, visit noagendacd.com. And for the latest news analysis and deconstruction, please visit noagendashow.com or Google No Agenda.
How good is that?